Hey, welcome back to the Rising Star Podcast, live every Friday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Before I get to the interview that I just did with my favorite people in the whole world, Becky Wilson, unbelievable heart, awesome person, and a great interview. Before we go there, our 8% virtual conference is about to start. At the time we're releasing this, it is Friday, February 18th. 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Our 8% virtual conference is starting at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time and ending at 4 p.m. So it's 9 to 4. It's 7 hours. We've got 18 of the top industry trainers in the country. I'm talking some of the fastest millionaires. I'm talking $100 million man. I'm talking the $1.2 billion PNC person. I'm talking the female agency owner that did $54 million in her health insurance agency last year. I'm talking a bunch of amazing people that are all flying to Springfield, Missouri to speak live to you for 7 hours. Okay. And you can go to 8percentvirtual.com to check that out. If you are, you can use coupon code Cody for $50 off. If you are listening between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m., you can get $50 off using coupon code Cody at 8percentvirtual.com, and you can join and actually get in there into the Zoom. If you are listening later, you can still go to Cody 8percentvirtual.com and get access to the recording for life. Okay, and so this conference we're super excited about. Again, it's launching Friday, February 18th at the time of this episode, and we're super excited. It's called Breakthrough 2022. And we all can agree, right? There's times in our life where it's time for us to break through, like our back's against the wall, the concrete blocks are stacking up, life is getting hard, people are throwing stuff at us, we got problems and struggles, or we're thinking about throwing in the towel or whatever. Like, it's time to break through the noise. It's time to punch through those problems and those struggles in our life. And that's what this virtual conference is going to be. It's more of an interactive experience. We've got 4 screens, massive screens surrounding the speaker, to where the speaker will actually be speaking live to thousands of agents around the world. I'm talking Botswana, Philippines, Puerto Rico, Canada, London. Earlier, someone in Sri Lanka said they were going to be on it. Like, it's really going global and taking over the industry. 8% is a movement, and we want you to be a part of it. So if you can make it for part of the virtual conference, fantastic. If you can't, make sure you go to 8percentvirtual.com and grab the recording so that you can watch it later. But either way, I hope you enjoy this podcast episode with Becky Wilson. She is phenomenal. She has a huge heart. She has been in the industry. She was in the industry for 10 years. She left for a little bit, then she came back. And now she's coming back with a vengeance. She's super serious about succeeding. She's also got one prospecting idea. It costs her a little bit of time, but no money, really, or very limited money, like almost no funds. And she's driving inbound calls, and a lot of them actually, using a very resourceful, creative idea that's kind of crazy that it still works, actually. It's more of like a guerrilla marketing, old school strategy, but it's working for her and she's still using it. So I hope you enjoy checking out what that is. Okay, so if you're just now joining a Rising Star podcast, you've never listened to this, but we do this every Friday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. We're interviewing people that are in the industry that are rising stars. Like, I was voted by an insurance company as a rising star back in Costa Rica years ago. And I want to focus on other people that are rising stars. Maybe they're not a full-blown star yet. Maybe they're half a star, right? Whatever. Maybe they're 50 cents instead of $1, right? If you watch the Super Bowl. But maybe they're a rising star in the industry, and they believe they are. They know they are. And we want to help them get there and reach the rising star status. So enjoy the episode with Becky Wilson, and we'll see you on the next episode, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, every single Friday. Check this out. Today we got Becky Wilson, the owner of One Stop Insurance Solutions. Becky, welcome to the Rising Star Podcast.
Thank you, Cody. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. Well, we've got to know each other. How long have we known each other now, by the way?
Well, I went to 8% for the first time last year, and then followed up with going to the business expansion workshop. And if you haven't gone, you need to go. That was a great experience. That was a fantastic follow-up after 8%.
Wow. What was your experience like with 8%?
It was pivotal. So
Well,
I had started into the business, but had no idea where I was going. And I had hooked up with a group that was doing some mentoring. But when I walked into there and heard some of the speakers, first of all, first class speakers, and people have no idea. If you haven't been to things of that caliber,
true.
the speakers that you bring on stage are just absolutely amazing. And there's no way you're going to do that for that kind of cost. You're just not. So that was life changing. And I was fortunate enough to be able to bring my 18-year-old son along with my grandson that I'm raising actually. And it was really nice to see his transformation. There was things there that were said by some of the speakers that actually touched and moved him. Not in the direction of my insurance, but it moved him. So
Sure.
that's
Sure.
what counts. So it was pivotal. Yeah.
That's awesome. Pivotal's a great word. I appreciate you sharing that. And then shortly after, you had went to a business expansion workshop, which you said was one of your more favorite type workshop events. What was the why that one? Why was that such a good event for you?
Up close and personal,
Okay.
and getting to see your agency function and having the level of sharing that you gave at that.
Mm,
I think my favorite part actually was the 2 hours that we got to spend one on one with, like, just you and all in our small group. You get to see a little bit of different side of Cody,
sure.
and your intensity really comes out there, and also your vulnerability. So that was really huge for me, um, and just with the level of learning of for your business. I can't imagine. There's things that I use every day. In fact, I was in a panic today because I can't find my notebook because I look at my notes.
Wow. That's
I take
cool.
notes for a reason.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So see,
That's right. There we go. 8% conference. I love that. We need to keep those coming because a lot of people use those.
yeah.
That's good. Okay, so you've we just talked earlier before we jumped on and started recording that you're being more intentional about your success in 2022. What are some of the things that you're evolving and changing and doing this year that maybe you didn't used to do?
Taking care of me.
Mm,
Knowledge, physical, mental, spiritual. So
wow.
bringing those components in has made a huge difference to start my day, to end my day. Um, and I think that for me, it's also helped keep all the noise out of my head,
Yeah.
because it's when you're my age and people are seeing you do what I'm doing, people are kind of, they're not usually very complimentary. They don't understand,
Why not?
but
Why not? Why not?
because we have this perception in our society that when you hit 65, it's time to start ending careers, not beginning them.
Mm,
And I think people are crazy. I think it's the perfect time to start one.
yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have the same things holding you down and holding you back,
Yes.
and it's huge for changing your mindset. I don't want to go gracefully into old age. I want to burn the field down before I get there.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Give it up for Becky in the comments. Let her know what you're thinking. That's awesome. I love that you're sharing that. Because I mean, they always say a body in motion stays in motion.
And your
Right?
mind. So think of how many people, they just let their minds go. They
Mm,
retire, they sit down, and they put a remote in their hand, and they stop learning, they stop growing. I'm learning new stuff every day. I'm studying. I'm getting new licenses. I'm studying to learn new parts
wow.
of the business. And I love that I'm keeping my mind active besides starting to get my body active also.
Yes. Yes. What's your favorite part of the business?
Oh gosh, right now it is growing agents.
Yeah.
I love hiring and helping people become successful and
Wow.
finding their niche and just really digging in. And I love helping people grow their business and watching them fly.
Yeah. Yeah. I can tell you light up. There's a serious passion there when you talk about it, which is really cool. Yeah, it's really cool. How long have you been in the industry?
Actually, I was in the P&C industry for 10 years. I've just been in this side of the life and health, and now back into P&C for about 3 years.
Wow.
full steam ahead.
I love it. I love it. And so did you leave the industry for a point?
I did for a short while. My agent sold his agency because he was
Uh,
retiring. I tried a few other little gigs and wasn't working out. And I decided I would get my life and health license and went
yeah.
into Medicare. I absolutely love Medicare. I love working with people. I love helping people. I worked a lot in the low income side of the business, the dual community. I
Mm.
love that. I have a passion for that. But just in general, helping people make sure that they have the right health care in place as they retire.
Yes. And you mentioned you did a couple other things. What else did you do or try in that stint before you came back? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I tried working for an independent PNC agency, and that did not work. And then I did Welcome Wagon for a little bit, which was an interesting gig, but not.
Huh.
It was really hard to get some money because I came from an outside sales rep background. I worked almost 20 years for the Gillette company.
Wow.
And yeah, and I did dental sales at the end of that. We had an Oral B division. I went over there and did dental sales for 3 years. So sales have always been in my blood.
Yeah.
And so that part was not a hard transition. And then I decided to try life insurance, and I wasn't with the right person, but
Sure.
I'm learning more now. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
you have a good personality for sales naturally, really, especially for insurance, Medicare. I mean, you can tell you care about people. I can imagine it's very easy for you to build rapport with potential clients, just because of the type of person you are, which is really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Why Medicare?
Because I had to help my husband get his. And when
Okay.
I saw the mess that it was, I knew that I had to do something in that arena because there were people around me, in our age group that they were going to need help also. So
Yep.
I decided I would get licensed, and that's where I headed. So, and I haven't that part I love.
And are you doing more face-to-face or virtual sales?
Doing a mix of both, actually.
Okay.
This last AEP probably more virtual than face to face, but I still did some face to face. There's still some people that you need to be in front of them.
Sure. Yeah. And which is there a preference? Is there one you like more than the other? Because you like people a lot too.
I do. I do. Yeah. So face to face is probably my favorite.
Okay. Cool. What would you say to an agent that's like, what advice would you give as a rising star in the industry if someone's like, hey, my company or my team, or I'm thinking I need to be doing virtual, or somebody's telling me I need to be doing virtual, but I really like sitting with people?
I would say, first of all, you have to have multiple streams of leads. So doing all one thing in this atmosphere, I don't think it's a good thing. But never give up what you're passionate about. And if you like being with
Yes.
people, find a way to be with them. If it's seminars, if it's getting together with people one-on-one, if it's going into senior homes, whatever it is, do what you like, because otherwise it's not going to be fun and it's going to become just another job.
Yeah, that's so good. And it's important for you to enjoy what you do, right? Like, it's cool to make a bunch of money and help a lot of people and do this and that, but if you don't really truly have a passion for it and truly enjoy it, it is going to turn into a job. That's such a good point.
Well, that's why we're entrepreneurs, because we didn't want to be in the corporate world anymore for a
Yes.
reason. And if we drag that mindset into our own business, then we're not going to change anything. It's
That's
just
right.
going to be a different job in a different place.
Yeah. And when it comes to prospecting, let's use face-to-face for Medicare since you enjoy that. Are you working off referrals? You're working off leads? Like, what are you doing to get in front of people?
Fortunately, right now I'm working a lot off of referrals, and that's working out well because I made some relationships with like financial advisors and other people in parts of the industry. I have an organization I work that provides the heat or the utilities discounts for people. I work with them. But I also, when we're able to, I like to go out and do events. I like to set up
Hmm.
a table, get in food banks. I like to go in senior homes. But I am going to focus a lot on doing some seminars this year.
Yep. Yep.
So, and then trying to form some relationships with businesses that have retirees so that we can help them, that their HR departments get, not have to have that burden on them.
Yes. And it seems like you've done a good job at not having like finding success and finding clientele without having to spend a bunch of money, which is pretty cool.
It is, but you do need to spend money. I don't want anybody to think you can do this for free because there is no free in this, but you do have to spend money. There's lots of things you can do to start. But what I tell my agents is when you start, take 50% of everything you make, set it aside for the first year of your business. And then that 50% will grow and will grow then the next year so that they can buy some leads, so they can place an ad, so they can, put up a sign. Signs have been huge lately. So you can buy a billboard, whatever it is, put some money aside and start doing those things because
Yes.
diversity is really key in this industry.
Yeah, it is. And you mentioned something too a second ago. You said signs are working really well. What are you referring to when you talk about signs?
So there's two things that I've found that have done real well. And one is just, those little signs you stick in the yard, but you can stick them on corners. You can stick them by businesses, friends' yards, put your face on them, put your name and your number as big as you can get it on the sign.
Name, face, and number.
Yeah. So they can put a face with it and they know that they're, you can put a Medicare on it if you want. You can put insurance on it, whatever you want. The other thing is, and a friend of mine actually suggested this because it worked for him. You find those people that have those white signs that are sitting in front of their businesses that half the time they don't put anything on them. And you put the letters on them. And if you can rent that sign from them, especially if it's in a key area and there's lots of traffic, go rent the sign because people drive by it every day and they're used to looking at that sign because that sign's been there for a while.
And then they'll notice that it's different.
Mm-hmm.
That's really smart. That's really cool. I hadn't heard of someone doing that, so that's awesome.
It's interesting. So I'm in the process of going out and hunting the signs.
19?
I'm gonna get as many as I can.
Yeah. Wow. Where'd you get that idea?
A friend of mine tried it and it actually worked out. And he said, Becky, I don't know if it'll work in your area, but I tried this so that's what I'm doing.
And are you getting calls from them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many? How many? Or
it's ebbs and flows. It depends.
Yeah.
So I think the key is it's sort of like drop boxes. Those are another thing. You take them someplace, you put them in for a while, they work really good. Then you got to move the area and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I think that we just got to move it around a little.
So the key is to keep it fresh.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Man, how to make a bunch of money selling insurance with yard signs. Good.
You have to try different things. Some of the stuff, think about it. You can put a lot. Mailers aren't dead, but let's face it, they're expensive, and their return is not huge. So you have to be really, really good at working what you get. Correct. And a lot of agents, that's hard. It's hard to get on that phone and follow up on those over and over and over. We teach, like you teach, 6 to 12 touches. And I would say probably even as much as you teach that, only 50% of the agents or less do that.
Yeah. Have you seen, I'm sure you've seen other agents fail around you. Why does that normally happen? Why do they end up failing out of the industry?
I think people lose sight of why they're there, why they came there in the beginning. I think they come in with we're a quick fix society, and we're an instant society, and I think they think that it's going to be 1 year I'm going to come in, and I think that sometimes they get sold false promises. You get these people that are hired and saying, "Oh, you're going to make $100,000. I'm going to make you $100,000. We're going to," and I always say you can make $100,000, but you need to know how you're going to make $100,000. because that's not going to be easy, is it, Cody? That's a
It's
lot
not.
of hours. Yes.
You're absolutely correct. It's a lot. You got to really, really, really work hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
And most don't do it. I mean, I would say less than 1% of all insurance agents make $100,000 their first year.
Right. Exactly.
So,
I agree with you. And sometimes their second or their second year either, because you know, Medicare in particular, it's a slow build. You know, you get your clients, and then then the residuals, and some more clients and residuals. So that alone, it's a little harder to get that. So
but then 3 years later, you look back and you built something, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's good. And what does 8% mean to you? When I say the words 8%, not the conference, just the movement in general. What do you think about? What does that mean to you?
The people that have made it in the industry, but are also reaching their hand out and helping to bring up other people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. If someone's out there and they're thinking about quitting, and they're not sure they're going to make it, they don't even believe they're a rising star, right? They've lost confidence. They're thinking about throwing in the towel. What would Becky Wilson say to them right now?
Figure out what your why is and where it went to, what changed. Second of all, get with a mentor. Find somebody that is going to help you. Write your goals down every day. And go all in. Don't stop right now. You've got a year in, you've got 6 months in. Don't stop yet. You're just in the hard part, you know. Yes. Keep going. But there's things you got to do, and you've got to connect with people that are successful. You got to have those people around you all the time. You've got to be able to learn. And if you're with somebody that's not helping you, find somebody that will, because there's people out here. We're willing to help.
Yes, that's so good, so true. If they want to look you up and learn more about you, how do they do that?
Well, lots of ways. I'm on Facebook. They can hit me up. You can call me. I don't care. I have time for anybody that needs help. And so I have a website out there. I have a Google My Business page. And I can give my number if you want me to.
That's up to you whether you want them to have it or not. Yeah.
I mean, Becky at onestopinsuranceSolutions.com. You can email me there. My number is 330-289-1298. Give me a call if you're struggling. Let me help you out.
I love it. Becky Wilson, thank you for being on the Rising Star podcast today. You've been amazing.
Thank you, Cody. It was great.
Appreciate you. Okay. Thank you guys for listening. Rising Star podcast every single Friday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Huge thanks to Becky, and we'll see you on the next one. Hey, if you enjoyed this, I got another one you're going to love. It's right there. Click on it. See you in there. Thank you, Dallas. Ain't just Harry. We about to be legend. Who wants to be legendary today? Come on now, right? Who wants to at some